The history behind how the tarot came to be is that of mystery, tragedy, and political oppression. To fully understand the meaning of each card, including the major and lesser arcana, we must first look at why they were created and the origins of that creation. In a public view, they are often shown to physically display divination and fortune-telling, many times being associated with the likings of witchcraft and gypsies and their arts. By peering into the past, we, as a free-thinking, esoteric society, can start to understand the true meaning of these illustrated displays of storytelling founded by an unlikely source. Tarot, or in Italian, trionfi, simply means triumphs. The very word triumph engulfs the feeling of victory, or to win something. However, wherever there is a victor, there is also a side of whom is not as fortunate. A tarot deck is made up of 22 major arcana cards and 56 suit cards to make a full 78 card deck. Playing cards have been used in parlors and gathering places since the mid-14th century. Although a true origin of the cards is unsure, the Egyptians or the Italians are most likely the ones who pioneered them, using certain suits as visuals. In Egyptian cards, the suits were batons, coins, swords, and cups. However, in the mid-15th century, there became a European-style usage, and we now see the four suits as wands, pentacles, swords, and cups. Each suit is traditionally said to represent the four main elements of fire, earth, air, and water. The most common and accepted tarot deck is the Rider-Waite deck, founded by illustrator Pamela Coleman Smith and Freemason scholar Arthur Edward Waite. This is the version which this work will be based from, as the iconography matches much of the 14th century's original cards. However, Arthur Waite added a little bit more in-depth Masonic imagery. This is where my studies take a very strange turn. Upon studying the origins of the cards in Europe, I came across several references to the Knights Templar. In true Masonic accordance, the Templars were extremely proficient in storytelling, as this is how their rituals and knowledge were passed down through the ages. Antiquity has very little written testaments and literature to go off of when it comes to the practices of these holy soldiers, because every detail to their organization's internal actions were passed down through symbolism and code. Modern-day Masonry, which is largely based off the teachings of the Templars, still uses symbols, words, and codes in their rituals and practices to this day. The symbolic storytelling dogma would become the basis for their involvement in the creation of the common tarot cards, which have stood the true test of time. 14th century Europe became a time of several new ideas and philosophies among the scholastic communities. Friday the 13th, 1307, was a pivotal time for Europe's elite to control more of the financial institutions and land in the area, considering the French monarchy and the Catholic Church joined forces to eviscerate the Templars. Amongst the slaughter was the leader of the Templars, Jacques de Molay. With the figureheads of the Knights Templar gone, the remaining members were forced to scatter wherever they could go, with some accounts stating that they even made their way to the Americas. The most common theory is that a large majority of the order made their way to Scotland, as many of the future Masonic families would find their ties in the British Isles, with names like Sinclair and Stewart. With complete loss of structure and elimination from the public eye, the remaining Templar would have to find new ways of securing the longevity of their teachings, in hopes that others scattered across the world would decipher the codes through unconventional methods. And they did just that when cards became popular in households and drinking establishments. As the great esoteric author Robert Lomas states in his book, The Second Messiah, there is no way the tarot cards were not founded by the Templars. Many of the symbols and imagery in both arcana allude to traditional Templar and Masonic teachings and texts. When we start to delve deeper into each card, it is quite apparent of their influences, brought on by the disbandment of the Templars and their underground practices, influenced by religious theology and political oppression by the European elite. I am your host Mitchell from the Eleusinian Society, and I thank you for joining us. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos on the way.